What if the greatest power you will ever know is already inside you, right now, at this very moment? Not the power of youth, not the power of money, not the power of other people's approval, but something deeper, something quieter, something that no one, not time, not age, not loss, can ever take from you. Stay with me, my dear friend, because what I'm about to share with you changed everything for me. You know, there are mornings when we wake up and the house is a little too quiet. Maybe the children are far away. Maybe the person who used to sleep beside us is no longer there. Maybe the body aches in ways it never used to, and we lie there in that silence, and a small, painful thought drifts in. Is this it now? Is this all that's left? My friend, if you have ever felt that way, I want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, that you are not alone. I have felt it too. So many of us at this stage of life carry that quiet weight, and I also want you to know this: that feeling, as real and as heavy as it is not the truth of who you are. The Buddha once said that our suffering does not come from what happens to us. It comes from what we cling to, what we fear losing, and what we refuse to release. And today, you and I are going to talk about the 7 things, 7 quiet, invisible things that are slowly stealing our power and our peace. And more importantly, how to gently, lovingly let them go. At our age, the world doesn't always see us the way it used to. Conversations move fast. Decisions happen without us. Sometimes we reach out a hand and no one reaches back. And slowly, without even realizing it, we start to shrink. We apologize for taking up space. We stop sharing our opinions. We wait to be needed instead of simply living. 𝗕𝘂𝗱𝗵𝗀. And that is the real danger, my friend. Not old age itself, but the slow erosion of our inner power, our sense of self, our quiet dignity. Buddhism teaches us something beautiful about this. It says, a flame does not become weaker just because the night grows darker. It burns brighter. You are that flame. And I believe, with everything in me, that you can burn brighter than ever before. So let us begin the 7 things, one by one. Gently. The first thing, the need for approval. My dear friend, how much of our life have we spent waiting for someone to say, you did well, I'm proud of you, you are enough? Our children, our partners, our friends, even strangers. We've lived long enough to know that approval from others is like water poured into a broken cup. No matter how much comes in, it never stays full. 𝘕𝘲𝗛𝐻𝑖, there is a teaching in Buddhism that I return to again and again. It says, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. At this stage of life, the most powerful thing we can do is stop waiting. Stop waiting for the phone call. Stop waiting for the thank you. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you matter, because you already matter. Deeply, completely, without needing a single person to confirm it. Release the need for approval, my friend. That is your first freedom. The second thing, the fear of being alone. I remember a story about an old monk who lived alone in the mountains for many years. A young student once climbed up to visit him and asked, "Teacher, don't you get lonely?" The old monk smiled and said, "I am never alone. I carry with me every person I have ever loved, every kindness I have ever given, every sunrise I have ever witnessed. How could I be lonely?" 𝘕𝘲𝗔𝗍𝗔 𝘕𝘵𝗔𝗔 𝘵𝗲𝗔𝗔. 𝘕𝘲𝗛𝗔𝗔𝗔 really will better rethink this. My friend, solitude and loneliness are not the same thing. Loneliness is the ache of feeling disconnected. But solitude, true, peaceful solitude, is the gift of finally, fully meeting yourself. Buddhism teaches that the relationship we have with our own mind is the most important relationship of our life. When we make peace with our own company, we discover something extraordinary, that we are never truly empty. We are full, rich, complete. You are not alone, my dear friend. You are accompanied by every moment of love you have ever known. The third thing, anger at the past. This one lives quietly in so many of us. Old arguments we still rehearse in our heads. Mistakes we made 20, 30, 40 years ago that still visit us in the middle of the night. People who hurt us and never said sorry. 5. Quate. We've been carrying some of these things for decades, haven't we? The Buddha described it this way. He said, holding on to anger is like picking up a burning coal to throw at someone who hurt you. You are the one who gets burned. The past is done, my friend. It is finished. It cannot be changed. But here is what can change: the way we relate to it. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is saying, I refuse to let this old wound keep bleeding inside me. I choose my own peace. At this age, our time is too precious, our days too beautiful, to be spent in the prison of old pain. Put down the coal, my friend. Put it down gently and feel what it means to have your hands finally, wonderfully free. The fourth thing, worrying about what others think. We've lived long enough to know this. Most of the things we were afraid people would say about us, they never said. And the people who did judge us, they have moved on and forgotten. So much of our younger life, we dressed for others, spoke for others, made choices for others, and where did it lead us? There is a beautiful Zen teaching that says, before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. It means this: the work of life does not change, but who we are while we do it, that changes completely. My dear friend, at this stage of life, we have earned the right to simply be ourselves, fully, without apology, without performance. Wear what you love, say what you believe, walk at your own pace. The opinion of the world is a cloud, and you, my friend, are the sky. The fifth thing, clinging to how things used to be. Oh, my friend, this one touches my heart deeply. The house that was once full of noise and children. The body that could do things it cannot do now. The relationships that have changed shape. The world that moved on without asking our permission. Grief for what is lost is natural. It is human. It is even sacred. 𝘕𝘂𝗱𝗵𝗫𝙀. But clinging is different. Clinging says, if I cannot have what I had, then nothing now can be good. Buddhism calls this the river teaching. The Buddha said, you cannot step into the same river twice. The water has moved on. The river has changed, and so have you. But here is what I want to ask you, my friend. Have you ever stood at the edge of a river in autumn and watched the leaves float downstream? Not fighting, not holding on, just flowing? There is a peace in that, a profound, breathtaking peace. You do not have to forget what was beautiful. You carry it with you always. But let your hands be open now to receive what is coming. The sixth thing, the belief that our best days are behind us. I want to tell you something, and I want you to really hear it. Some of the most powerful, most alive, most deeply joyful people I have ever known found their greatest peace after the age of 60. 𝗕𝘵𝘓𝑐𝑒𝑛𝑡 𝘵𝑢𝑛𝑡 not because their circumstances were easy, but because they had finally stopped running, stopped performing, stopped pretending. They sat down in their own lives and said, here I am. This is enough. I am enough. The Buddhist tradition tells of the lotus flower, which blooms most beautifully not in clean water, but in deep, muddy water. It is the mud, the difficulty, the loss, the years of struggle that creates the depth from which true beauty rises. Your life, all of it, the hard years, the joyful years, the confusing years, has been preparing you for this depth, this wisdom, this quiet, unshakable power. Your best is not behind you, my dear friend. In ways that matter most, it is just beginning. The seventh thing, the fear of death. Let us sit quietly with this one for a moment. At our age, death is no longer a distant thought. It has become a neighbor. And for many of us, that neighbor brings great fear. We do not talk about it much. It feels dangerous to name it. But you and I, sitting here together in this quiet space, we can be honest. The fear of death is, at its heart, the fear of loss. Loss of this life, loss of the people we love, loss of ourselves. But the Buddha offered us a different way of seeing this. He taught that what we truly are is not the body, not the name, not the role. What we truly are is awareness itself, the witnessing presence that has watched every moment of our life unfold. And awareness, my friend, does not end. It transforms. Think of a wave on the ocean. When a wave reaches the shore and falls, it does not disappear. It returns to the ocean. It becomes the very water it came from. You came from something infinite, and when the time comes, you will return to something infinite. The fear of death is the fear of forgetting who you are. But the deepest teaching of Buddhism is this: you are not what can be lost. You are what remains. My dear, dear friend, I want to stop for just a moment here, because I think about the person watching this. You, right now, wherever you are, maybe sitting in your living room, maybe alone, maybe carrying something heavy that no one else knows about. And I want to say to you directly, from one heart to another, 𝘵𝘛𝙩𝙬𝙧. You have survived things that would have broken others. You have loved fiercely, even when love was hard. You have kept going on days when stopping would have been so much easier. Do you understand what that means? It means you are extraordinary, not because of anything you achieved, not because of anything anyone gave you, but because of what you have, quietly, persistently, beautifully, become. The world may not always see it, but the universe sees it, and that, my friend, is the only audience that ever truly mattered. Now I want to be honest with you about something. Gently. If we continue to carry these 7 things, the need for approval, the fear of solitude, the anger, the worry, the clinging, the belief our best is behind us, the fear of what lies ahead, if we continue carrying all of that, then these final years, which could be the most free, the most meaningful, the most peacefully powerful years of our entire life, will pass in a kind of shadow. 𝘕𝑛𝐶 do nos walk. And I cannot bear that thought. Not for you, because there is another possibility. A beautiful one. Imagine waking up tomorrow, and for the first time in years, feeling no need to prove anything. No fear pulling at your chest. No old wound replaying itself in your mind. Just the morning light, a cup of tea, your own breath, and a quiet, steady sense that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That is not a fantasy, my dear friend. That is what the Buddha called liberation, and it is available to you right now, at any age, not after you fix yourself, not after things get easier, right now. As you are, how do we begin? 3 gentle steps. First, sit quietly for just 5 minutes each morning. Before the phone, before the news, before the day begins. Just sit, breathe, notice that you are here. That is enough. That is everything. Second, when an old pain visits you, do not fight it. Do not invite it to stay. Simply say, very gently, inside your heart, I see you, I release you, you do not define me, and breathe it out. Third, do one small thing each day purely because it brings you joy, not because it helps someone, not because it is productive, simply because your joy matters. Your joy is not selfish. Your joy is sacred. I want to end today with something the Buddha said, words that I have carried in my heart for a very long time. Wait. He said, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. 𝘕𝘵𝘆𝙀𝙬𝙧, my dear friend, you have already loved. Deeply and truly, you have loved. Now, It is time to live gently, to move through your days with less weight, with more grace, with fewer apologies and more wonder, to look at yourself in the mirror and see not the lines of age, but the lines of a life fully lived, a life that bent and did not break, a life that loved and was loved, a life that even now still holds so much light. You are not old and fading. You are ancient and luminous. Like the mountains that have watched 1,000 storms pass, you are still standing, still breathing, still here. 𝘕𝘵𝑗𝑗, and that is everything. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Truly, from my heart to yours, thank you. If this touched something inside you, if even one moment of this video felt like it was speaking directly to your soul, please share it with someone you love, someone who might need to hear these words today. And if you would like to continue walking this path together, gently, at your own pace, please subscribe to Dharma After 60. We are a community of hearts, and there is always a place here for you. In our next video, we will be talking about something just as close to my heart. Why Buddhist wisdom says that the deepest healing of our lives often begins in silence. I think you will want to be there for that one. Until then, my dear friend, may you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you know, in the very depth of your bones, that you are loved.